Macaw, Nia Bay from my mother's side.
Uh-huh.
And so that's my family
For many
tradition.
years, I represented the Lummi Nation. So I lived in Seattle. I had a couple houses up there. So,
Then you're familiar with Tillamook.
Oh, Tillamook.
You said you were born in Oregon.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Then you'd be you're familiar with Tillamook.
I was born at
Tillamook is famous
Klamath
for
Falls, Oregon.
Klamath Falls. Oh yeah, it's on this map. Klamath Falls.
Tillamook, Oregon is famous for the Tillamook Head, which is off the beach below Astoria, kind of more famous known in the Goonie movie, which is a weird way to say
Oh,
it.
it's that rock that's in the movie that's off.
That's
Yeah.
Tillamook Head. Tillamook Head is 45 and 124 degrees on here. And the reason I was saying this is a family thing, because I'm kind of curious that if Tillamook is basically the Nehalem side of my family, of my great-great-grandfather. If traditionally this is our trade route, what does this all mean for me to be connected to all of this by tradition? Let alone being Quinault and at Port Grenville in Quinault, Grace Harbor, and there's the class that began at Sabi Island, and then being connected not only to that, but to, Leonard Rock Shelter, Seligman, Wupatki, Montezuma Castle.
Yeah, I know the Quinaults.
So, as a family, and this being part of my tradition and our trade route by blood and by hereditary, what does all this mean? Is this my turf? By hereditary?
Yeah.
You could conduct trade on this and not be taxed by the government because you're exercising your cultural rights.
And I can prove
Your
it.
rights as an indigenous person
This
because
is my Nehalem side.
Absolutely.
This is my Quinault side. I haven't got to my mother's side yet.
oh, so you're Clatsop Nehalem,
That's my great-great-grandfather, and then I'm enrolled as Quinault.
and so you're
cool.
Chinook.
And even my tribe doesn't know this. Quinault Nation, you need to take notice of this. This is a real tradition. You need to quit relying on archaeologists from the Oregon State University to tell you your ancient trade routes or where they might be located, and start believing in your own. Because
He
some
means
of us
stop
actually know
letting
what we're talking
foreigners
about.
define who you are.
And by tradition, by blood, and by hereditary, I'm really the one that's running the show for 1,500 miles of empire. Not the tribal council. Me, by blood, by hereditary. Ask all our relatives if you don't believe me. Who's all my cousins? The entire tribe.
That's how I feel when I go back to my
Same
tribe.
here.
I'm related
Hi,
to everyone.
cuz. I can say cuz to everybody. It'll fly. Anybody from 3 years old to 90 years old.
Yeah.
But
Can
hey,
you-
that's my lecture.
I was gonna say,
Well, let
can
me
you
get
share?
What about that up there?
Oh, she wanted to know about up here, these charts.
Oh, back to what I was saying earlier. This is Nan Madol, Micronesia. Anybody that's familiar with ancient
That's
history,
Asia, huh?
it's an abandoned stone city that's in Micronesia above Papua New Guinea.
Wow.
And where Nan Madol is located is also the ancient trade route that took us all the way to the Azores Islands
Wow.
through the Mediterranean. But there's two ways of doing this on the ancient system.
And
The
you can
system
see Nan Madol from space too.
Yeah, Nan Madol
Yeah.
has two ways of doing it. If you go 3.25, that's the one that takes you to the Azores Islands, long distance travel. But there's one with the longitudes and latitude lines. This shows you the local trade routes. In other words, when Nan Madol was occupied over 13,000 years ago, and it's been empty since because of the flood, this is when there were people living there, this was their actual trade route that they went to do trade through South Korea, through Japan, through South Korea, North Korea, and all the way up to this place called Chita Boratia.
Huh.
And now, if you put a drone with a LiDAR underneath it, and you set its GPS ratings for all these latitudes and longitudes in this sequence, well, let's say this sequence from here to here, this in itself, and then you fly the drone over this area, here, 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 here are all trade locations.
Oh, wow.
And if you have a LiDAR, you're going to see all of that.
Huh.
What's under the surface. What hasn't been seen in over 13,000 years.
Wow.
And some of my maps I've gone to, where I've gone into Asia, I've gone to places called the Golden Buddha Mountain, which is really weird because I've been finding, precious metals, and stones. But there's pilgrimage places that are really spiritual, like I'm running into where Buddha went to, and Himalaya locations, and places like I said, the Golden Buddha Mountain, and the dragon something or the other. But it haven't been known in thousands of years.
Wow.
Even one of our locations goes right into China and to Russia. And our DNA has already been found by Russia and China 10 years ago, but they're withholding it because they can't say they found native DNA in Russia or China. It's a little embarrassing. Aboriginal title might come into play. So my job is, since modern man is lying out there and giving all this misinformation out, my job is to give you the real truth of what's going on out there. We have trade locations to all four races in the world. And if we had trade locations to all four races in the world since ancient times, from thousands of years ago, and you only been here for 533 years with your Christopher Columbus nonsense, I hate to tell you this, paradigm shift, we discovered you. End of class.
Oh, I was gonna say right here. This is what he's talking about right here. This is the Global Trade Network.
That's the layout.
It's the layout for it, and so when you start going into the latitudes and longitudes, you see those lines, those alignments.
Yeah.
Those result in charts like these, where you have various locations where there's indication. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. So there's a lot of petroglyphs, pictographs, ancient cities, sacred sites. Sorry.
And here's that 325. Nan Madol is over here.
Right.
You follow the line up
And
to
Nan
here.
Madol has like an arrow shaped, like a structure built. It's in the water. You can see it.
See Nan Madol with my finger where it's red? That's Nan Madol. You follow this line, and then it takes you over to here into Cambodia, Angkor Wat. And then it takes you over to Mumbai, India. And then it takes you to Memphis, Egypt. And then Tripoli, Libya. And then Tangier, Morocco. And it ends at the Azores Islands. And that's just the one route from Nan Madol to the Azores.
Wow.
Right.
The Azores, you go all the way down, takes you all the way down into South America. Corral, Peru. Corral, Peru, back to Tillamook.
Oh, and Roger also identified the shortest location between, was it South America and Africa? I remember you had that on one of your charts. I don't know if it's on this chart.
Well, it's mainly this one right here. I mean, Christopher Columbus came from here, right?
Yeah.
And he went all the way to over there, right?
Yeah.
Look at this distance.
Yeah, they were ready to like throw him overboard and go back because they were like they ran out of food.
They were lost. They only had partial knowledge of this navigation system. And I'm convinced that Columbus might even got this information from somebody that understood this ancient mapping system, that he might have plagiarized.
Can you share the story of Maui?
Oh, Maui? Well, there's Maui, the mythological guy that everybody knows from Moana and the Disney thing. But the real Maui Way back in the times in Egypt, I don't remember which where it was, but it was one of those dynasties. Way back, way when they were beginning their empire. Anyway, when the Library of Alexandria still existed, there once was a mathematician that lived in it that was doing similar work to what I'm doing. He noticed something in the Library of Alexandria that he wanted this person that was into the Navy to come and look at. So the guy came over and he was an admiral and he looked at what the mathematician laid out and what he, I think you're onto something. Let me go talk to the pharaoh. So the admiral went and talked to the pharaoh. The pharaoh went back to the admiral. They looked at the mathematician charts over that Library of Alexandria and that, you know what? This is legitimate. It's real. We could find new trade routes with what you've shown here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hire the admiral here and give him a navy and supplies and the financial backing to go out to these locations to find new trade. And the mathematician, you're hired to be the navigator. I went, whoa! So mathematician jumped in the boat with the admiral from Egypt. And they set out to go across through India and out into the Pacific Ocean to follow where these routes went to.
Wow.
The admiral's name was Maui, the same name as the Polynesian god. What did Maui do? He did go to India, he did go out to the Pacific, and he did go to these islands, and he did come to the Americas, and he did go to Teotihuacan. But guess what happened?
What?
He disappeared from historical record. He never went back to Egypt. He switched allegiances and started trading because he ran into the people here and became part of the important trade network for all of the Pacific Ocean
Wow.
through Quetzalcoatl at Teotihuacan.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know why I know that? 3.25 times 6 is 19.50 north. What's that 19.50 north? Hawaii.
Oh.
So, hey, that's nice to know. But what do you do on the equinox when you're going exactly east from Hawaii and you're going to the sun on the equinox? And you're going directly east toward that way. You're going to another 19.5 location that's in a direct alignment, in a straight line from Hawaii at the same 19.50 location north, just at a different longitude. And what is that location? Teotihuacan.
Oh.
Same latitude as Hawaii.
Wow.
Same latitude as Mumbai, India. That's one thing about this charting system. There's double numbers on it. Like 1300 south would be for the, I think it's the Nazca or close to that area where the 13 degrees south is at. But if you go 13 degrees north, it's Angkor Wat. So there's two numbers.
Angkor Wat is my favorite place I've never been to. Like, I've always wanted to go there in Cambodia.
I'd like to go.
Nan Madol has a twin for the southern hemisphere. Nan Madol was a trade route to go to the northern hemisphere trade routes. There's another 6.50 location like Nan Madol, but it's 6.50 south. It's called the Ganam Bedang or Maroons in Indonesia and Java. It's at 6.50 south. That one's set up for the southern trade out to the southern hemisphere. They don't know that Ganang Bedang or whatever it's called in Java, it's the same latitude as Nan Madol. 6.50 south, 6.50 north.
Can I also share something?
Sure.
So Nan Madol, you said it was right above
New Guinea?
Papua New
Papua
Guinea.
New Guinea, I mean.
Papua New Guinea is the very last island in the entire world to have been colonized by the British. So that was the last island to be. There's over 596 languages in Papua New Guinea.
Wow.
And it has the most biodiverse, like the coral reefs are like the most like species rich in the world.
They also think they're finding Papua New Guinea DNA in tribes in South America that they can't figure it out. I got the charts that shows where they come from, Papua New Guinea to all the way to Easter Island, and from Easter Island or the Galapagos Island, they could go into South America or Central America or Mexico, and most of the route went into South America from Easter Island. There's 3 islands on Easter Island. One was set up for trade to the Polynesians and to Asia. The middle one was set up for trade to North America, which went through the mountains of that so-called Mystery Wall in California. That's a line to Easter Island from the Columbia River. And then the 3rd island is set up for trade to South America. And that came from Australia, Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
I'd go through all the islands to, island hop to get to Easter Island. 2,000 miles to South America.
And
1,500 miles to the
everything you
nearest island.
said, you basically can just like talk about and point at the charts and show that direct alignment with this whole
Let me tell them.
latitude, longitude.
If you're having any problems with this, go to our Finding the Center, the Hopi YouTube presentation we did, because we did an exact showing locations on our charts where the Hopi migrated in according to the Book of Hopi by Frank Waters.
Oh boy, we
Showing
need to
the
write this
exact
down.
way they migrated, where they migrated to, and how they got back up to Oribe, and why they were in Oribe, why they call it Sipapu, why they call it the center. They don't even know.
So that's a whole nother lesson that you can
Well, as
go
I
check
said,
out.
when you get time, go watch the presentation.
If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And learn!
Did you capture what he just told us?
Yes.
Oh, good.
She always
All right.
does. Sometimes she puts it on when I'm not expecting it. My hair's all over the place.
Okay,
I
anything
woke
else?
up. And it's the Wild Indian channel, I guess. Huh? What?
Bye.